Damn it, right. Creativity, creating something. Yeah, I haven't been drawing in a while. Where are my pencils? Where are my compasses? Maybe I can draw something now? I feel creative. I feel like I want to do something. Damn freaking YouTube, damn freaking everything. I hate everything I do. The reference was so easy. Like, the Pinterest board looks so pretty. And why? I'm never going to draw again. Hopefully it's something that happens to everybody, because otherwise it was just stupid. Well, obviously, it's not great news that self-comparison has always existed, but before it was part of your survival, and you had to compare yourself and kind of be similar to the other members of your group, because logically, they would just say, well, guys, let's get rid of the wonky one. And it's not about discrimination or not appreciating the specialness in people. It's about basic survival. Because when you are in a tribe and you see that one of the members is acting a bit strange, it may be a sign they are ill, which compromises not only your own safety, but the safety of the whole tribe. And this is an ancient survival mechanism that your brain just can't give up from one day to another. But comparing yourself to 50, 60, or even 100 members of your same group and comparing yourself to the whole world are slightly different things. And especially, there are slightly different things for your brain.
A small detour is needed here.
And when we are talking about physical comparison, well, maybe there we can still take a step back and say, well, that's just me. And I wish I would look like my favorite actor or actress, but I can't because I don't look like them. Unless I am making the decision to go for plastic surgery, which is incredibly expensive, by the way. And yes, you can't reshape yourself. You think, well, maybe if I lose weight, my cheeks will go away or my nose will go away. But then you lose a lot because you managed to, you did a great job, and yes, so much self-control, or I don't know, dietetic pills, whatever you want. But you are still the same person, and you have to deal with the person that you are. Losing or gaining weight or building muscles doesn't make you the actor that you want to be, because they are a different person, and you are you. You have all the genetic material that made you you. But skills and knowledge are slightly different. Some still have biological limitations, but most of them don't. But then, if you compare your skills to others, especially if you're an artist or a designer, you enter Pinterest or any other social media. In this case, I'm lucky because I have nothing else despite Pinterest, so I don't get double depressed. I hope it's a term, double depressed. If it's not, now it's a term. Pinterest, and everything is like perfect, amazing, wonderful. And thanks God for AI, because now every time you see something great, you can just say, well, it's luckily AI, and don't feel as a piece of, well, at least I do it, and I really recommend this method because it helps. When you compare your art or your creative product, any of your creative product, to all what you see on the internet, you experience a real physical pain. Your prefrontal cortex goes wild, and it hurts. Taking a step back, even when you create from a natural reference, from a vase which is in front of you, you're trying to draw, and your skills still don't match how you see the world. Well, already this is creating a great gap between what you're making and what your brain wants to do. And so you go into a kind of depression. You get very sad because your skills cannot replicate exactly the same what your brain was telling you to do. Then you go to a relative or friend or to AI and say like, oh, look, I made this. And they are, oh my God, it's so beautiful. It's amazing. I love it. And probably they do love it because they don't know what was in your head when you were trying to doodle it. Maybe you imagined something else, and so you hate it because of it. But they don't know. And maybe they're not so some kind of professionals or something. So it's okay for them. It's just pretty. No. Let's remember that after that, you go and compare yourself again to others. This is a crazy pain. And at the end, you are stuck in hyperreflexation. I don't know how to pronounce it. Neurobiologically, your brain is evolved for the Dunbar Number, meaning it's evolved only for small tribes of to 150 people, or somewhere around that. But a global digital comparison triggers the Dorsal Anterior Cingulate Cortex, or dACC, treating every better influencer as a threat to your tribal status. And guess what? Spiking your cortisol. So psychologically, narrowing your focus prevents an overload. Prioritizing your immediate circle, as friends, family, or professors, makes you way more efficient. Even sociologically, from a career point of view, it's often said that success relies on strong ties, while a mass internet approval is volatile. Caring for a specific cycle aligns perfectly with a biological architecture, ensuring a sustained creative flow. A supposed solution might be, well, I'm not the best artist, I'm not the best designer, maybe I should study and go to a design school. And so you go through design school, but the more you study, the more you realize that everything you do sucks, like a lot. But it doesn't mean that it actually sucks. It just means that you have trained so much taste and you know so many very good designers and very good artists that you constantly compare yourself to them again. You've passed the Dunning-Kruger effect, And to better explain the Dunning-Kruger effect, which is a very widely psychological bias, here's an example that most probably happened to you too. Remember when you were a child and you made those amazing art pieces, which were literally the best because your mommy told you so? And then you went to school and for the first classes you felt very confident. But then, or damn it, the teacher started introducing very cool artists to you. And at a certain point, you faced this in art history or just history. Still feeling like the greatest artist in the world? Nope, I don't think so. But congratulations, you just passed the Dunning-Kruger effect. And from one part, it's good because it's not so nice to be very pretentious, and obviously general knowledge makes you a better person, but it is a double-edged sword because now most probably you will never ever feel confident again. And this is happening not only for arts, of course, this happens for every kind of knowledge. So again, we come straight into criticizing yourself even more. Maybe your skills have grown, and you can see it if you compare your new work to your old works. But at the end, you just keep being stuck in this terrible place where you continue to hate yourself. And here is where a very interesting part comes. If you try to love yourself and accept yourself, it doesn't work at all. And this is not just personal experience, this is science. This is actually a very curious phenomena, but if you try to love yourself more and accept yourself more, what you're doing is basically rewinding in yourself. You're thinking too much about yourself, and thinking too much about yourself doesn't help you feel better about you. It helps you find new terrible stuff about you. Yeah, take two, not just personal experience, science. And I'm not even mentioning obvious things like marketing hijacking you into comparing yourself even more, because influencing and self-comparison are obviously two things that are coming hand in hand. This is the new pencil, PS6. It's twice as big as your previous pencil. The PS6 gives you double control on your sketches. The best artists use it, bringing your skills to the next level. All of your friends have it, all of your family has it. It's twice as expensive as the previous one, so come on, it's a deal. Oh, damn, the auto-tune is over. Well, you got the point, right? So instead of waking up and, as the cult of success and happiness tells us, say, I love myself, I'm worthy, and I'm beautiful, because it may not be true. And I covered it better in those two videos, which are definitely better than this one. Try to tell yourself, well, I didn't do great this time. Not everyone does great every time. And maybe I won't do great again and again and again. Because this self-love actually brought us to a main character syndrome epidemic, which lies in the hyperactivation of the medial prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for self-referential thoughts. In other words, you care about yourself as about a person, but the others are just NPCs. With time, you dehumanize people around you more and more. And sociologically, the digital performance culture rewards this egocentrism. Simple neurobiological antidote would be just empathy, or better yet, perspective taking. If you decenter your ego, this relatively simple shift actually transforms a lonely solo performance into a meaningful and shared reality. Because like it or not, if you continue to live in a main character syndrome reality, sooner or later all of your work can just crash under the realization that the world doesn't spin around you. And most of all, this kind of perspective taking not only makes you more empathic, it enhances your general relationships with people, it also teaches you how to deal with your own insecurities and troubles. Instead of rewinding in yourself and telling yourself again, I just love myself, becoming selfless and self-centered, you learn to react to your own mistakes in a more sustainable way. It's like you would say to an animal that made a mess, well, they made a mess. What can you do about it? Maybe next time they won't, if you will try to train them. You don't have to be completely self-compassionate. You just have to try to let go of stuff sometimes. And that's something I'm telling you, but that's something I'm struggling a lot too, because right now I will finish this video and I will be like, oh my god, it sucks so much. So it's easier said than done, as everything on the internet basically. So what is recommended usually to do is just to practice your ugly art, creating without thinking about anything. Make something really awful, like intentionally awful, because you know that the rule tells you not to do so. If you are a user experience designer, then you might know there are even contests where you have to submit the worst ever user experience design. And this is amazing because maybe the worst work you can come up with now is anyway better than something that you made a few years ago. It's useless to think that you want to be as good as Da Vinci or as any other influencer you see online. If all of us are Da Vinci, no one is Da Vinci. Being imperfect and being empathic is the only human thing that is left to us. Everything else can be made by AI. Don't compare yourself to others, just the old you to the new you. Trust only the people you truly care about and stop watching YouTube, go make something. It's like you would say to a friend, or if you have no friends like me, it's like you would say to an previous pencil. Fuck. Damn you! You had to fall on the bed! You had to fall on the bed! Okay. The PS6 gives you double control over your brush strokes. Brush strokes? It's pencil strokes? No. The PS6 gives you double control over the brush. What the hell is a brush? Why the brush? 1, 2, 3.
The best artists. Wait. Shut up. Shut up. The hell?
Right now, I will finish this video and I will be like, oh my god, it sucks so much. Oh my god, I can't look at this huge nose, and please, someone please help and kill this thing. Please go pay for plastic surgery because you like really need it.